everybody, welcome to Parks Bros. It's Drew here, and today we're back at Knott's Berry Farm checking up on everything new in Camp Snoopy with updates, as well as a couple updates with MonteZOOMa and Summer Nights. So, let's go. Our first stop of the day is going to be Camp Snoopy as we walk upon this turf area, this picnic area as they're calling it. Lots of improvements overall with tons of umbrellas, a lot of paint to go around on the cabins, the walls. It's looking a lot better than it did for sure. These poles still don't really have a purpose as of now, but I'm hoping those help with shade structure. And the biggest change is there's a Dippin' Dot stand here now. Another positive so far walking through the land, Beagle Express is open. So we're gonna hop right on next cycle.
I just didn't know, like, coming here.
She's very qualified to be queen because she is a royal queen. Together and merit that. Hey, come on. Working to stay here. What?
They tied up their feet. Blackberries. Let's get them a
You're riding with us on the Beagle Express. I hope you have so long.
Looking s'mores. After experiencing Beagle Express, which I gotta say was an absolute joy, really improved overall with that electric train being used. And I gotta say, the waterfalls are back, the barrel bridge is back. It's looking really nice over here. I'm curious if they're ever gonna put that canoe over in this spot somewhere on one of the waterfalls. But yeah, everything's looking awesome so far over here. Definitely big improvements compared to opening day, for sure, all around. Oh my goodness, Dylan from Theme Park Obsession, is that you on the barrel bridge?
I'm barrel bridging.
Oh my goodness gracious, it's bouncing like crazy, but it's so nice to have these back open. Getting a look at Snoopy's Tenderpaw Twister Coaster. Currently dispatches are around 3 minutes, at least the one we just timed, but it's good to see it running with a little bit quicker dispatches, and hopefully one of these days I'll get on it, but currently it's posted a 50-minute wait. So maybe not today, but maybe soon. Another update for Camp Snoopy. Camp Swing, still not open. Looks like there has been some updates for the queuing area, but that's about it. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks this gets opened up and we have our newest attraction in the park officially ready to go. Coming over to MonteZOOMa's Revenge and what will eventually be MonteZOOMa the Forbidden Fortress, you can see tons of tarps all the way along the track. And there's some pretty big updates when it comes to one of the spikes, as we'll show you in just a second. So something I find actually really interesting before we get to some of the major construction updates on MonteZOOMa is the fact that this storage track now for what used to be the Grand Sierra Railroad and is now the Beagle Express seems to be completely out of use. I'm curious if they'll actually use it in the future, but they do have only the one electric locomotive at this point, and it does look like this track has not been touched realistically in a long time with how dirty this area is and how many pine cones there are. So yeah, I'm curious if they'll ever use it again as a storage track in the future. But as of right now, doesn't look like that's going to be the case. By far the biggest change you can see with MonteZOOMa the Forbidden Fortress is the fact that there's just a giant pile of scaffolding around that far spike, which is just insane to see, honestly. It looks like a brand new tower is going up, where in reality, they're probably just going to be painting that support that has been there for a long time, just on its lonesome. So it's kind of crazy to see that work is really beginning again on this amazing attraction. At the other spike of MonteZOOMa, no scaffolding over here, but I would assume that's just because they don't want to close this ride that just opened. So probably after summer season, they will end up doing the same on this side to repaint, because you can actually see some of the paint is straight up chipping on these supports at this point. And of course you have the raw steel that is all on the side here, adding to the support. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how this all goes, because they are going to have to close this ride for scaffolding unless they're able to get it above the track here, which would be kind of impressive if you ask me. But I think it's potentially doable. But yeah, this paint job is going to be a lot harder to pull off than the other spike for sure. Over at the station, you can see all the scaffolding in its glory. It's kind of nuts to see all of these white tarps all the way around the attraction outside of that back spike behind me now. This is crazy looking. Super excited to see this progress happening. Super excited to hopefully see track and maybe some new supports soon for some of the taken out tracks and support pieces from the ride originally. I don't know, we'll see. It depends if they ramp up construction even more than they already have, because this is already the biggest improvement we've seen in 6 months, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, hoping for an early 2025 opening, which would be absolutely amazing if you ask me, if not summer at the latest. I will say I'm still very interested to see on who will be manufacturing the remake of this ride, because a lot of Zamperla has been thrown around just because of the potential package deal that Cedar Fair had with, of course, the new kiddie coasters and, of course, Top Thrill 2. However, we know what's happened with that at this point has not been great. And Cedar Point has gone out of the way to mention Zamperla in every update they've put out so far. But I will say, Zamperla has done an amazing job with Tender Paw Twister, as well as the new launch coaster up at Playland in Vancouver. So, I don't know, I'm very curious to see if anything changes from there, as well at the fact that this is the first time we visited this park as an official Six Flags park. That's right. The merger went through a couple weeks ago, just after we last visited. But it's official. This is a Six Flags park. Technically, Cedar Fair does have a majority of the stock, but only by 1%. So it's very interesting to see this merge going through in real time, and some of the changes we might be seeing around all the parks in both chains becoming one, which is still nuts to me. But I'm curious if that changes anything with this ride, or the potential manufacturer, or the time it takes to open. I mean, everything at these parks is going to be changed just a tiny bit, so we're going to have to be on the lookout for that. Speaking of little changes, this probably has nothing to do with the merger whatsoever, but nice to see some extra plant life on top of the roof over here at Fiesta Village. I know that bell is loud, but man, it's stuff like this. This is why I adore this park. Being able to see a stagecoach riding just by a train, both in operation, tons of kineticism, great rides for both of them, like, and unique views of the park too. It's just awesome. So something awesome Dylan and I are getting to do today, thanks to the park, is the Knott's Berry Farm Summer Taste of Knott's. There's like 35 plus items that you get to choose from. You get 6 on this card. I believe it's $55. But I gotta say, our first item from the Boardwalk Barbecue seems to already make that price totally worth it, because the pie is huge. So I gotta say, Dylan and I are absolutely enjoying this amazing peach pie offering they have. And the peach is just that perfect sweetness. The crust is not necessarily the most flaky or buttery, but man, oh man, it's still really, really good, especially for the price on its own, as well as being included in the past. And honestly, for how big this piece is, it's perfect to share, wouldn't you say, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, for the two of us, we're already starting to struggle bus it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you had 4 people, you could easily have 1 slice each. Just
I think, yeah, 4 people is probably the way to do this as a full, like, taster. Yeah. Unless you just want a full dessert that's probably like 700 calories or something like that.
We're loading up today.
Walking over by Ghost Rider finally. This has been here for a little while, but this is a fast lane kiosk for not just Ghost Rider, which is, by the way, $20 for a single-use fast lane, which honestly I think is almost worth it, considering it's been typically a 2.5 to 3 hour wait. Thankfully, it supposedly is on 2 trains. I'll have to double check on that in just a bit, but it's interesting to say the least that they're even adding it here. And there are multiple rides you can choose from, even like Pony Express, Jaguar, and Hang Time. Next up for us is a Nashville chicken pizza. I am so excited for this, and it's brand new, it's fresh, it's hot to go. Let's dig in. Our last treat for the night, using the tasting card, is a Long Beach iced tea, which this is actually an alcoholic beverage. It's cranberry with a pre-mixed alcohol selection. It's pretty good. Not the most intriguing thing. It is $18 off of the pass, but if you had the pass, it's not much. As you're about to hear Pony Express right behind me, because we're checking on some Scary Farm construction. So we're going to cut to that in just a moment. But if you're curious where we got the drink, it was right across the railroad tracks next to the main stage. But you can see right next to Pony Express, my goodness, as the the catch car makes its way back to the station. Some of the exterior walls for the finale scenes for The Curse of Calico are up. This is crazy. Scary Farm is literally like 6 or 7 weeks away. I'm not ready for it personally. Like, I want summer to last a little bit longer. Honestly, I wanted winter to last twice as long as it did. But here we are in the middle of July, which time is just flying at this point. But yeah, crazy to see this construction already popping up. And I'm sure half of the dance hall at this point is filled with some spooky stuff. So I cannot believe we're already at that point of the year. And of course, before officially leaving the park, before I time travel back, got some fudge. I'm so excited. So with the sun finally setting, that's actually going to do it for our visit to Knott's Berry Farm for today. It's been absolutely amazing getting to see some of the upgrades on Snoopy, as well as getting to actually try the new tasting card that they have for this summer, which honestly, all of the things we've had have been at least decent. I will say the pizza was probably the low light, with that peach pie being absolutely the highlight. It was amazing. So many other things we got to try next time we're here, so stay tuned for that. But a huge thanks to my buddy Theme Park Obsession Dylan for hanging out with me today. Make sure to go check out his channel if you have not. And speaking of which, if you haven't subscribed here, make sure to do so. I really do appreciate it. And of course, until next time, we'll see you on the next ride.